Hey guys, Eric Buckholz with MarketingProLeader.com. How you guys doing today? It is Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of Tips from My Truck. This week has been Getting Started Week, and I've been talking throughout the week about getting your network marketing, affiliate marketing, internet marketing business up and running. So today I want to touch on a subject that I think we have all had to deal with at one point in time, either in our personal lives or in our businesses, and that's when it rains, it pours, guys. It's Murphy's Law in action. So let me start by saying it's been raining here in St. Louis for the past 14 hours or so with no end in sight. Life is wet and messy, guys, which is another way of saying when it rains, it pours. And I'm sure by now you've also heard of Murphy's Law. It basically states that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Now, this urban belief dates back to 1928 when magician Adam Hull Shirk wrote in the 1928 essay on getting out of things that in a magic act, 9 out of 10 things that can go wrong usually will. But it didn't officially become Murphy's Law until 1949 at Edwards Air Force Base in California. Believe it or not, there really was a guy named Murphy, and he lived in the United States until his death in 1990. Captain Edward A. Murphy Jr. was an engineer in the Air Force, and although he took part in other engineering design tests throughout both his military and civilian careers, it was one test that he attended almost as a fluke that gave rise to Murphy's Law. During this test, one thing after another went wrong, and nothing seemed to have been done correctly. Now, there are several stories about what truly happened that day and about who exactly contributed what to the creation of Murphy's Law. But shortly thereafter, during a press interview, Murphy was quoted as saying, "Whatever can go wrong will go wrong." Hence the term Murphy's Law was born. And people around the world, all around the world, have been using it ever since, guys. In short, it means that when something goes wrong, you feel that eventually the other shoe's about to drop and something else will go wrong, followed by something else, and then something else. Drop me a comment, guys, if you've ever felt like that yourself, either in your personal life or in your business. Drop me a comment. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had this feeling quite a few times. For example, when running a Facebook ad, I had one of my ad images disapproved. Then after that, my ad copy was flagged as inappropriate. Great, I said. Then another ad got flagged right after that. I thought to myself, oh crap, man, they may shut my ad account down if I'm not careful. So one thought after another kept popping into my head, none of which ever happened. But I was unduly stressed out and worried all the same, guys. Another instance I recall was in my personal life when it was one of those days I should have stayed home in bed. You guys know the feeling? You know, the day from hell? Waking up late, hurrying out the door to an appointment, getting a speeding ticket, not able to keep my appointment, followed by an almost near-death accident that topped off the day by locking the keys in my car. So, I want to share with you guys some tips on how you can, keep this from happening to you. Tip number 1 is take a breath. Stop, take a really slow breath, guys. Don't skip this one, do it. And count it out, guys. 5 seconds in, hold for 2, out for 5 seconds. Just get in the moment and realize that everything is going to be okay. That was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is take stock of what you've got. There are positives in any situation, and you have to look for them. Gratitude is such a powerful practice. After all, you're alive, right? Always remember that you have people around you who care. And I've talked about this at length, guide gratitude. So tip number 3 is be realistic. Put things into perspective. What's the worst case scenario? Is this really as bad as you think it is? Or are your emotions getting away from you and making it all feel much worse than it is? Chances are it's only going to get better from here on out, guys. So just relax, okay? Tip number 4 is forget the blame. Don't start looking for a bad guy. Blame and hate does absolutely nothing to improve a situation. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame anyone else, guys. And even if the situation appears to be someone's fault, don't waste your energy focusing on some kind of backlash or any type of revenge. You never ever make your own life better by making someone else's worse, guys. That was tip number 4. Tip number 5 is simply unplug. Sometimes when it's all too much, the best thing you can do is just unplug. Literally and figuratively, just take a step back from everything. Cut it all back to basics, and by all means, simplify your life. Shut out anything that doesn't absolutely need your attention right now, and just focus. Focus on healing and moving forward. So when it seems like the torrential downpour in your life is never going to end, just keep this in mind, guys. It's always the darkest just before the sunrise, and it will always get better. So even though it may not seem like it at the time, it's going to get better, guys. So Have you ever had one of those days, guys? Drop me a comment below if you guys have ever had one of those days. Drop me a comment. I'd love to hear about it. So there you have it, guys. When it rains, it pours, and it's starting to rain again. Murphy's Law in action. I hope you guys got value. So please comment, like, and share below. Hit that share button. Get this out to as many people as you can. It'll help them out, I promise. If you want to learn more about how being small when you first get started is not such a bad thing when you're starting your network marketing business, check out my new blog post. I'll drop a link in the comments below, guys. Also drop me a comment below with any critiques or suggestions you may have for future training. It'll really help me to improve and give you guys a lot more value moving forward in the future. So I'm Eric Buchholz, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Rains it pours.